God damn, it is a mess in here right now. Holy shit, it's a mess. But let's get her done, shall we? Let me actually adjust this here a little bit. All right, welcome. Apologies for the extremely messy apartment. Been a super busy day, but I'm gonna get straight to the point here. Okay, act like somebody you're not yet. All right, that's gonna be the title of this video. Act like somebody you're not. Yeah, you hear it all the time. Don't act like somebody you're not. Be yourself. Be authentic to yourself. Be real. You know, things of that nature, right? And I completely agree with the authenticity portion. But when I say act like somebody you're not, what I'm speaking about is acting like your 10.0 self. And that's why the key word there is yet. So I want to start off with a bit of a backstory for you guys who don't really know me that well. A little over a year ago, I moved out to California with my girlfriend. That was 2023, January 2023, I believe. I moved out of Hawaii to California, which a lot of you guys are probably gonna give me shit for, like, well, why the fuck would you move out of Hawaii? But long story, if you wanna hear my entire story on how I made it to where I am now, watch this video, or this video, wherever it's at. That'll give you the whole rundown on my story. But yeah, I moved out to California to a super, super ghetto apartment. And if you guys are from Cali, you guys been in SoCal, this area called Anaheim, right? It's where Disneyland, whatever, right? That's why we thought it'd be cool. But it was ghetto as fuck. Like, it was horrible. I almost got robbed, and it was pretty weird because I was on the way to my shooting range. The only thing I had I just bought a brand new car. I just bought my Tesla, and all I had in my car was guns. So it was kind of like, I'm not gonna kill somebody, but like, it's just the wrong time for somebody to rob me. But I was about to get robbed. Like, this dude in a white van was following me around for like 30 minutes. I was trying to gap him in the Tesla and stuff. But anyways, super ghetto. I watched this dude break into a truck. But while that was happening, while my girl was in school and I was working on my agency at that time, I was building the life that I'm living right now. Right? I had apartments and, you know, the views like this. I don't know if you guys can really see it. Let me put you on really quick. Nothing crazy, but let's see here. You know what I'm saying? It's I could give you a little clip of what my apartment looked like in Anaheim, and I'll actually pop that up for you guys right now so you guys can see that. All right, so this is the last time in this apartment. We cleaned the entire thing out. So this is the OG apartment. So yeah, it was pretty ghetto, right? And during that entire time, I had vision boards and images plastered on my wall of this apartment, this view, the high-rise view, etc., right? Plastered everywhere. And what that was doing wasn't so much just me, you know, dreaming about it, but what it was telling myself to be that person, because me plastering all those images on the wall is a different energy. That energy, if you guys can guess it, is a wanting energy. It's like, I want this to happen, right? I want to live in this apartment. I want to have this view. I want to be able to do this, and this, etc., right? It was a wanting energy. And when you want something, it's a completely different energy that you're in compared to being, right? When you be the version of yourself that is already expectant of this goal and already has it, has already achieved it, it's in the after effect of already achieving it, right? Meaning it's already achieved and you're living after effect. How does that person live after? That is a being energy, right? It's wanting versus being, right? So that whole time I was working on being that person, moving, even if I was in the shittiest apartment ever, like the most ghetto place ever, I was working daily on how to be that person. How does that person speak? Right? How does he talk on camera? How does he speak to his clients? You know, what type of content is he posting? Even though the content I was posting was fucking horrible. It worked, but it was horrible. How does he speak? You know what I mean? Like, how does he eat? How does he train? How does he work? How does he wake up? What time does he wake up? All these things, right? What was his routine? Things of that nature. How does he be that? How do I be that person, right? And it was a difficult concept. And for a lot of you guys, you know, if you guys have vision boards plastered where it's like, you know, you want a certain watch, or, you know, let's just use the apartment for example. You want a high rise, right? And I'll tell you right now, it's not as glamorous. Like, it's not that great. Like, I'd rather have a house on a farm, just FYI. But you know, it's cool. But when you have that plastered on your wall, instead of, I'll tell you how to instantly materialize it and actually turn it into a reality within a span of, keep it realistic, I'll just use myself for an example, 9 months, right? In 9 months, you can materialize it into reality. And if, 10 years ago, someone told you, hey, you could be doing 25K within 9 months, would you do it? It's a no-brainer. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, that's insane money. That's like a neurosurgeon salary. That's more than a neurosurgeon salary, I think. It's good money, right? So if I told you that in 9 months you could materialize whatever you have plastered on your wall, would you even listen to me? Would you try it, right? Because 10 years ago you would. But right now there's a whole lot of yada yada going on, right? There's a whole lot of business models you can do, growth operating, you can do all these things, right? It doesn't matter. But would you believe me if I told you you could materialize something like this just by changing your energy, right? Changing your energy and changing your frequency to match whatever it is that you want to materialize. Okay, and it can be a very difficult concept for a lot of you guys to grasp, because, I'm saying that because I know it was for me. For me, it was like, energy this, energy that. Like, I'm gonna keep a positive energy, sure, but what is that gonna do for me? But when you understand that everything is energy, right? And I'm not this cosmic guru, but everything is energy, and everything you want is on a lifeline. But for it to materialize into your current reality and into a present reality for yourself, it needs to exist first on a frequency. It needs to exist first on a vibration first, right? If it doesn't exist there first, it will not materialize. It can't happen, right? That's why your thoughts can create your reality. That's why you hear that a lot, right? So when I took that concept of, okay, instead of wanting to be this version, how about I try to be that version? Even though right now for you, if you have a high-rise plastered on your wallpaper right now, or you look at it every day, how do you be that person, right? You've never experienced what it's like to look down, 20 stories or 17 stories and see what's down there. You've never seen the top of any building before. You live in a first floor, like, it's totally fine, but how do I be that person? Like, what does that person feel like? How does he maneuver? So when you begin to, that's where the power of visualization comes in. And there's a lot of talk about visualization this, visualization that. Like, you hear a lot of these, clips of people saying, like Conor McGregor, if you can see it here, you can hold it here, right? It's facts, it's true, but they don't teach you how to actually visualize. They tell you that when you visualize, you want to visualize the future version of you, when that's completely a fucking myth. It's so bullshit. Because I say that because when you visualize a future version of you, you are still in a wanting frequency. You're in a wanting frequency, and when you want something, all it is something that you want. Your future will only ever be your future if it is just your future, right? So if right now your future reality is you living in a high rise, then 5 years, or let's say 1 year from now, if nothing changes, that's still gonna be a future, because that entire year you just spent it wanting to live in a high rise. You wanted to live in a high rise so bad. You wanted it. So once you can change your energy to be that version, and I'm kind of getting sidetracked here, once you can change your energy to be that person, and I'll show you how you can do that in 1 second, that's when it can materialize. That's when it actually is capable of materializing in your current reality. And I'll get into how to visualize it right now. Okay, so by the way, if this is kind of unfocused, I sincerely apologize. I'm getting a new camera soon. I can't really see the screen, so I don't know if it's focused or not, but if you stayed with me, even though it's unfocused, I truly appreciate you. So how do we visualize? And how do we feel? How do we get into an energetic frequency of being in order for it to materialize in our current reality, right? So when you visualize, the myth is that when you visualize, you want to visualize the future version of you. But when you visualize the future version of you, all it is a future version of you. You're still in a wanting frequency. So when you utilize something called outer intention, and outer intention is God, it's the frequencies, it's all the vibrations around you. It's where everything coexists simultaneously. Your past, present, and future life all coexist at the exact same time, right? All you have to do is align with it. Right, that's why I call it the Aligned Entrepreneur Academy, because we help people align with that frequency. So when you're able to utilize outer intention, and there's a way you can utilize it using a small specific spot on your body. It's called your plat, and it's located where your head connects to your neck. Imagine like a ponytail coming back, and there's a little spot there. Imagine like a little orb. All right, when you can place all of your focus onto that orb when you visualize, imagine that orb getting larger. Right, and that orb, what it is where outer intention accumulates. And I have a complete video explaining and breaking down how exactly you can do this visualization practice, and I'll leave that up here, whatever side that is. But when you can visualize that, and when you can actually start to meet this version of yourself 9 months ago, when I was beginning to meet myself now, then I can understand, okay, this is what he does in the morning, this is what he does when he works out, this is how hard he trains, this is how he speaks to his client. The tonality, the articulation that he uses when he speaks is not how I'm doing it now, so let me just be that version now, right? Because if you don't become the version of yourself that you want to become first, it will never exist afterwards. It can never materialize if you do not be that person first, or else you're just always constantly chasing it, right? That's why visualization, what I say is it puts you into a healthy rat race. It puts you into a cycle where you're just chasing this future version of you, and when you're chasing the future version of you, it just stays in the future. So that's why a being energy is so powerful. I can't exaggerate that anymore because it's truly changed my life. And like I said, if in 9 months, just practicing this visualization can get you to where you want to be, to get you to that location you have on your wallpaper, to get you that watch that you have on that wallpaper, to get you that striped screenshot that you have on that wallpaper, if 9 months is all it took of visualization, and it can go a lot quicker. I was doing it pretty wrong for the first 4 months. So about 6 months is all it takes to truly materialize something. And it's crazy to think that. But when you can actually begin to place yourself in a being frequency of how to be that version, that's when your vibrational frequency begins to align with that version. And when you're aligned with that, the result of that person is simply a byproduct. And I really want you guys to understand that. All of this that you see around me is a byproduct of the frequency that I've aligned myself with. That's all it is. That's it. So to conclude this video for you guys watching, until you choose to embody the version of yourself that has already achieved everything that you want to achieve and has already achieved the things that you have on your wallpaper, until you choose to embody that version, it will never exist in your reality. It will never materialize into your reality. Okay, so quit wanting. Quit being the person who wants to be something. Once I get this, I'll do this. You know, I really want this, so once I get that, I'll do this thing, right? Or once I get that, I'm gonna act like this. Quit wanting, okay? As soon as you can be and firmly plant this belief of being that version is when it will materialize. And it's something that will take time. And that's where the mirror principle comes in, where reality is a mirror, and until you show the mirror what you want, it won't materialize. But it's not something that'll happen overnight. That's not how it happens. It's not how manifestation happens whatsoever. All these manifestation gurus that tell you that are completely spitting bullshit out of their mouths, right? So what you want to do is allow yourself to be that version, and just be that version constantly while placing one foot in front of the other and allowing it as in the mirror and reality to materialize it for you. As long as you step one foot in front of the other as that version on a daily basis. And any day you decide, like, you know what, this doesn't work, this kid on the YouTube that I saw talking me, right, was talking bullshit, he's faking everything, yada yada. Once you believe that, one day, even if you're 4 months in, immediately your frequency will drop. Your frequency will drop because outer intention and all of these frequencies and God will understand that you were lying, you were a fake frequency. Okay, so you need to be that person starting today. You can start tonight. You can start tonight. Right? Be that person now and watch what happens in 6 months. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna leave you guys with. Stop wanting, begin being, and watch how much your reality will shift. And if you guys want help on how to actually, I have a step-by-step visualization that'll walk you through this, and it's a custom visualization that I made for myself, and now I give it away to all my students, and it's helped tremendously. It teaches you how to utilize outer intention. It's in my academy. If you guys want to talk to me one-on-one, you guys want personal help with this, I will leave a link in the description. You can book in a call with me. If not, you guys can hop into my completely free academy. You guys have access to me there. There's a few exclusive videos in there as well that I don't publish on YouTube. So hop into that free academy. I'll leave that link below as well. And also, finally, I post a shit ton of content on Instagram, so follow that as well. But yeah, the YouTube right here, what you're watching right now, is where majority of all the hard-hitting content, where I'm not really holding anything back, is going to be posted. So if you guys stay to the end, I can't express my gratitude for you guys. That I truly appreciate you guys that stay to the end, because it means a lot to me. And I try to provide as much value as possible. So if this helped, drop a like, comment, subscribe, whatever, and I'll see you guys in the next video.